He's the tallest man on the radio, so sit right back and enjoy the show. Flying through the air like a ballistic missile. Here's your host, Ben Kissel.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Ben Kissel channel. I'm Ben Kissel, joined by Jerry Aquino. And I want to let everybody know, Jerry's on the show forever, for the rest of the year.
Forever.
That's it. This is what you asked for.
Forever is the rest of the year.
And the audience asked for it, too. So
Yeah,
you better be happy.
here it is.
Sheikh Latang, he's not going to be with us for a few months. He's going to take care of some family stuff in Boston. So send your love to the Latang family. But we have a wonderful man with us, Kyle Plouffe, from the great podcast Death and Entertainment, and also the Ben Kissel Channel political show.
Yes.
So I'm sure you've heard him trying to desperately agree with me even when he doesn't.
Well,
All right. We got a couple of updates for today. Hope everyone had a great July 4th weekend.
I did.
Obviously, we had the Coney Island hot dog eating competition.
Yup.
And we now know who the big winner is. And my friends, it's Deep Dish, the man out of Chicago. Patrick Bertoletti. He ended up winning. And I just feel like a name like Bertoletti. You know what? He had an advantage going in.
Did
A
he?
name like that can eat.
I guess a name like, oh yeah, I guess he has a long family tradition of eating.
Well, his nickname is Deep Dish. He sounds Italian, probably
Yeah.
suicidal, maybe sad. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
Wishing he could marry his sister.
Oh, of course. Who doesn't love a hairy woman?
Yeah.
That's what I would do, though, before a hot dog eating competition, which Kyle has a story for you all, by the way. He's a real loser.
Loser.
I would get super depressed before a hot dog eating competition and cry eat.
Yeah.
You know when you cry eat, when you order all the food under the sun, and then you
Yep,
kind of sit there and be like, I'm a fat fucking piece of shit. But then you finish it all, and then you're like, I can't believe I did all that.
Yep,
But then you all at the same time, you just go and you play Batman on your PS5, and then you're like, but I'm also Batman? Or is that just...
That's really
Yeah.
close to what my weekend was like, except I replaced all that with a vanilla chocolate chip molten cookie.
From Crumbly's?
So good.
That's amazing.
So delicious.
So before we get to Kyle's horrific story of how little he can consume when it comes to hot dogs, Bertoletti won. But again, Joey C. was not in this competition because, of course, a dispute between Nathan's and the Vegan Hot Dog Company. Joey Chestnut, I believe, ate 57 hot dogs in 5 minutes.
In the other thing that he took participation in eating out the soldiers.
Eating out the soldiers at Fort Bliss. That's right.
Yes.
So Joey Chestnut would have dominated this dude, but nonetheless...
Honestly, sounds like he took it easy. Hasn't he topped with like 72 or 76 hot dogs before?
He's getting older. Don't forget that about Joey C. We don't want to spend a whole nother episode on the Major League on Major League Eating, which is what it is.
That's so true.
The MJE. So that dude, Deep Dish, he won it.
What?
And then when it comes to the gals, a woman that we really studied pretty intensely on the last episode, Miki Sudo, she set the record
Yeah.
with the most amount of hot dogs eaten by a gal. 51, which I think is only like 6 less than the dude, because she ate 51 dogs, becoming the first woman to break the 50 dog threshold.
Yeah.
And Bertoletti or whatever, he only ate 58. She's nipping at the heels.
Jesus.
And that's what we're here to talk about today. Equality.
Heels? Oh.
Or heels. She could probably do it in heels.
I was wondering if she could do it in heels.
I mean, my older brother, he's 6'11", and he likes to dress in drag, and he wears heels, and I don't know if they're reinforced with the same steel from the Twin Towers.
True, but also this is a sitting down competition. She can wear heels. She can just kick them up.
Absolutely. Good point. So Miki, she dominated, and I believe she was dating one of the fellows. Was it Esper or the Australian guy?
It wasn't Esper. It was the really pale dude. They're both bodybuilders.
That's right. Well, he sucked. Oh, Weary. That's
Weary.
right.
Yep.
You know what he got? 51.75.
What does that mean?
0.75 hot dogs?
0.75.
0.75.
It means he had a bite or two left and he couldn't do it.
And he couldn't do it. And his wifey, his beautiful wifey, Miki Sudo, ate 51. I couldn't look at my husband. I just would be like, bro, you suck.
Be like, really? You couldn't finish the last one?
Yeah,
Really?
you're 0.75. You beat me with a 0.75.
Yeah, you're going to take that. You're going to die on that hill.
There's gonna be-
0.75 of a hill.
They're going to die on the toilet.
Well, that's possible. But there is going to be a
Have you seen how
massive
ripped
fight.
they are? Their metabolism is just going. She's eating them and dissolving them at the exact same time.
Yep.
very
Well,
impressive.
Deep Dish, the dude who won, he has 32 world records, including eating 47 pieces of Big Apple pizza in 10 minutes. And you got to imagine that's his bread and butter. That's the competition.
You mean like a
Where
New
he-
York slice?
Big Apple pizza. Yes, indeed.
I don't know if you meant literally pizza with apples on it, but
Oh,
The Big Apple.
bro.
New
Big
York.
Apple.
Have you seen this shit that Papa John's is trying to do? I did mention earlier how perhaps I did order a lot of pizza this weekend. I didn't eat as much as I should have or could have because I ordered Papa John's. And unless they're going to advertise, in which case, Papa, please come in my ass. If you're going to come in my house, come in my ass, okay? But it was the worst thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. The Papa John's pizza.
Why?
And it tasted like vomit. I don't know why. I really don't.
I honestly haven't tasted Papa John's in years, but I do remember enjoying it.
And now they're trying to come out with hamburger pizza.
Oh,
Have you seen that trash?
Oh, I love hamburger pizza.
With pickles on it?
Oh, not pickles. No,
It's got
that's
pickles
like
on it.
cheeseburger pizza. Yeah.
It's nasty.
Ugh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good God. I was supposed to be like, what the fuck are you doing
No
here?
pickles on pizza.
no,
no
pickles,
pickles
on anything. Sorry.
Borderline.
I'm not a pickles person.
All right. Well, that's probably good. He also ate, this is Deep Dish, he ate 29 waffles in 10 minutes. And speaking of pickles, 5 pounds of sour pickles in
Oh my God.
6 minutes.
Oh my God.
5 pounds?
5 pounds.
Good Lord.
That
So he
does
is
not
a
sound
champion in his own right. So let's talk about a non-champion. That is, of course, Kyle Plouffe. So, Kyle, you were in a hot dog eating competition.
I sure was.
And how'd you do it? You tell the story a little bit there.
So the background is back probably like 10 years ago, I had my own segment on Planet 96.7 FM in Burlington, Vermont.
Only the biggest radio station
Yes.
in Burlington.
Every Monday
The
morning.
home of Bernie Sanders.
That's right.
Is that what?
It is. And the coat factory.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
The radio station every morning I would have my own segment called The Real Truth with Kyle Plouffe. And I would call in with all these nice jokes about celebrities.
Yeah, that was the real. You were really telling the truth.
Yeah, I was really nailing them. And
Richard Gere had a gerbil stuck up his ass, I heard once. That's the real truth with Kyle Plouffe.
have you heard about this? Yeah, so they actually had me, they were paired with, in the same studio with ESPN Radio, who was sponsoring the hot dog eating contest at the Burlington State Fair.
Okay.
And they were like, hey, Kyle, why don't you come down to be the celebrity contestant?
Celebrity contestant.
Celebrity contestant.
Very loose definition of celebrity.
Yes.
And I went up there. They brought me up, paid for me to stay, and got me on ESPN Radio the night before.
I didn't know they paid for you to stay.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd they put you up?
They put me up in like a Holiday Inn Express.
Celebrity.
Hell yeah, dude.
Holiday Express.
Yeah.
It sounds very fancy when you say it like that.
In Burlington, yes. I was right next to Lake Champlain, I think. It was very nice. Very nice.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And then, so I get there to the fair, and I when I was on the radio, I was talking so much shit. I just went full heel, like wrestler, being like, all these local yokels don't know what's going on.
Boston fan. Patriots fan over here. Red Sox fan.
Yeah, just talking all this shit
Yeah.
about all those idiots up in the woods. And when I showed up, it was not good.
They were mad at you.
Yeah. These guys that came out of the woods showed up to do some damage.
They were hungry.
Yeah.
They were busy trapping bears all day.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
doing a whole bunch of different stews and things of that nature.
And then you were their prey.
These were big boys. And yeah.
So how'd you do?
I got 5.
In what amount of time?
I believe it was 30 minutes.
5 hot dogs in 30 minutes.
I can do 5 hot dogs in 30 minutes.
I've done it on accident.
But here's the thing.
Like what?
It's the whole thing about putting the bun in the water, and then it was giving me the gags so
Right.
bad I couldn't
That
keep
does
it down.
sound gross.
Yeah, it was awful. Because if I could just do the hot dogs, I would have gotten at least like 15, maybe
Yeah.
20. But
Wow.
those buns with the water, man, it is.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
pretty
Real
disgusting.
nasty.
But I
don't
guess
want-
you just got to get past the texture of it. It's more
Yeah.
for efficiency.
I don't remember Michael Jordan complaining when the Utah Jazz fans poisoned him.
That's
And he
true.
still put up 40 plus. to win the gosh darn finals.
I didn't even have the flu. It's not even a flu game. It's just awful.
Now, I will say, in your defense, 30 minutes is way too long. As an audience, as a spectator,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch people eat hot dogs for 30 freaking minutes. 10 minutes max, that's all we can stomach.
They had stanchions built. There was like 500 people there. And by the end, I was getting booed. People just going,
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, we know what it sounds like. I know what that sounds like, pal. Well, good for you.
but the winner ended up getting like 45. It was
Bucks?
murder.
Oh.
No.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
But speaking of money, something we haven't covered, Deep Dish, and I'm assuming Miki as well, they get 10 grand.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
They get 10 grand. So it's not just about, when you're hungry and you need to eat, it's also about making some money.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
to continue on here, just briefly, when it comes to the Nathan's hot dog eating competition, it's not just hot dogs. I want to show this video. So for those listening, if you want to check out the YouTube page, feel free. This is a video of this dude. And his name is Eric Badlands Booker. And this is a lemonade chug competition. So this is what it is. And let's just take a look here and see just quite how disgusting this is. So he's got
Lemonade chug?
that's the lemonade chug. He is absolutely gutting this
Wow, he
stuff.
is just guzzling it down.
This dude on the left, he ends up puking like crazy.
Yes, I believe he's going to projectile vomit at some point.
Dude, what is Napoleon Dynamite doing in this contest?
Literally, it is. Badlands slams this down in 24 seconds. He screams like, "Wow, I just did something. My wife is going to be so proud." And I am proud of him in many ways. But the dude,
Anything is possible.
Through Christ who strengthens me!
fourth straight title. Oh, the video doesn't show, but the guy to the left of him projectile vomits everywhere.
Oh my god. Oh my
Escorting him off and he's still puking.
Yeah.
I thought I had no context as to what they were doing when I watched this. I had no idea it was lemonade. I thought he was chugging pickle juice. And that's why he was puking. I was like, I'll puke too, dude.
Yeah.
That's even more disgusting. I think it's the lemonade, that sugar content.
Yeah.
So much sugar.
And what's these bottles in front of them?
That's your
the
mustard.
panel.
That's your mustard.
To add to the lemonade?
No, that's your Nathan saying this is a great time for brand placement.
Yeah.
Just so people, when they think Nathan's mustard, they think slamming a bunch of fucking
lemonade.
lemonade.
Like, what the
and then
fuck?
one person vomits all over the place.
Yeah, when you feel like puking, you puke on Nathan's hot dog mustard.
All right, so that's the update on the competitive eating. Also, last episode, we talked about people dying from fireworks.
Yep.
You really would have loved it. And believe it or not, it happened. Now, the headline's a
What?
little sad. So the headline here is Family Reveals Heart-Wrenching Final Moments Before Showboating Dad Died After Putting Lit Firework on His Head.
Oh no.
His wife,
Zero empathy.
his wife said,
On his
said, "You are my rock and my heart." But someone should have been his head.
His brain was a rock.
Anyway, thank you, Kyle. Another Kyle Truth.
Yeah. Pow.
So here's an image of the guy who's dressed like Uncle Sam. If Uncle Sam was molested,
Look at him. It looks like his final day.
it was his final day. He's covered head to toe in the red, white, and blue. So naturally, it was a great day to die. So he was about 35 minutes north of Charleston. It's a tragic incident. Obviously, R.I.P. truly, if someone loses their family. But
Sucks.
give me death now, God. Not really. So his name is Alan Ray McGrew, which, of course, anytime someone has three names said, you think, who'd they kill? And how many? Where are the bodies?
Right?
So he was caught on camera smoking a cigarette, and he was doing a funny jig.
Yeah.
Which is really how all of us are going to die, doing something so fucking stupid.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. Like, remember when Ben was pretending to be a leprechaun and accidentally fell on that spike?
I do.
Yeah.
I bet him he couldn't.
How'd he die? Well, doing what he didn't like to do. So he then put one of these mortars on his head because he was really in the spirit. Long story short, he lit it. Everyone was kind of laughing and stuff. But then he died. One person chuckled, "He's dancing to his own tune." This guy, McGrew, he was an HVAC worker. I currently do not have AC in my house, so I could have used him.
Yeah, the shame.
He lit the firework atop the stars and atop his hat that had stars and stripes on it. And then that was it. So Paige Morris McGrew, she says, I thought he was just showboating before he was going to set it on the ground. I didn't realize he had already lit it. The firework then exploded, causing head injuries. And then apparently that killed McGrew immediately. And so he was just kind of pronounced dead at the scene. I do think alcohol, just judging from the photos, alcohol may have played a role in it.
Oh, yeah.
So which one of those was on his head? Do we know?
None of these dildo-looking ones, but I would assume it was something similar.
Yeah.
That's where they should be, on the ground.
Yeah.
But he was like, I really want to make my son laugh. His son Hunter, who is 20, so for some reason I'm like...
He wants to make his 20-year-old son laugh by putting a firework on his head.
Like, oh, that's sweet as little boy. It's like, your son's 20. Get a job.
No, it's fun, Hunter. Although with the name Hunter, it's a cute kid's name, but I don't think it ages well for some reason.
It does not.
Yeah.
It ages really weird and usually under review of some kind of college board.
Right. my boss Hunter said I can no longer eat all the food in the refrigerator.
And then Hunter promised me that he would get me the job if I just...
Right, exactly. Sucked on his penis, maybe.
Wow.
So Hunter...
Fireworks. They're fireworks.
Oh, okay. So Hunter McGrew, he says we're traumatized.
Yeah.
And I can imagine. The family has been overwhelmed with attention, and some say that this is upsetting. They're upset that McGrew is being seen as a drunken fool, but they say it could be further from the truth. Now,
That's pretty close.
What?
they say, and this is just, it's the July 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're eating, you're having fun,
Yeah.
you're drinking.
Put no mortar on your head.
You know?
They said the dad rarely drank, but that day he wanted to celebrate American independence. 1776.
So he can't handle it.
And so he got all kind of out of sorts, and then he did that. Yeah.
McGrew another hole in his head.
Yeah, well, there you go. The ploof truth.
Pow, pow.
There it is.
I really think you're missing an opportunity to say ploof, but that's just me.
That's the sound it made.
Wow,
It
she's
exploded his head.
Sure, he's feeding him lines.
Yeah.
They're feeding him lines.
I just keep hearing it in my head.
You just got ploofed.
See?
Yeah, sounds like I'm going to die because of anal work. I got the old paploof. Well, you know what that means. You can't sit down for a month.
So this guy basically died because he drank like 3 Bud Lights too many?
Yeah, and he was just trying to have fun. So Paige McGrew, they say he loved his country and looked forward to celebrating every year. Oh, and this year, I mean, honestly, the way the country's going, this is apropos.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's lucky he doesn't have to see November. He's lucky. So she says, just before the incident happened, this is sad. Now it's sad. I'm sorry.
So sad.
She says, just before the incident happened, he hugged me and his son and said, you are my rock and you are my heart.
I'm sorry. Was it a suicide?
I don't
Yeah.
Who says goodbye? Like, goodbye? Wasn't he just stepping away to like be like, "Hey, watch this"? Wouldn't that be like your last words?
I don't know. It's July 4th. Emotions are high. So he says, she says, me being his rock and his son being his heart. So the wife was the rock.
Right.
And the son was the heart.
And his hat was the match.
Yeah.
And
this is a picture of him, slightly less goofy. He looks like a gentleman just trying to get by there.
Oh,
and that's the wife, and they're Mr. and Mrs. and they have their little shirts on that say Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
No, well, there's an age disparity, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yes. Paige says he
You
was.
know what it is when you fall for your meth dealer.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Love is in the air. Or is it the math?
His hat's in the air.
Well, indeed.
Yeah.
So Paige McGrew says he was a genuine good person and he loved life. He worked hard and he played hard as well. So there you go. So those are the updates from last episode. Hope everyone had a great July 4th weekend. And at least he got to spend the final moments with his family.
And in his favorite outfit, loving America.
Loving America.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get down to why do we love America? It's because of all the American characters. American character like this man. A naked man. He menaces Santa Monica. He poops in a parking lot. and he yells racial slurs.
Whoa, he's doing a
It's that
baby.
So he's in kind of a yoga pose, what appears to be on somebody's deck. He is butt-ass naked. He appears to be slightly older, maybe in his early 60s. He's bald. He looks like he might run for president at any moment. And he is in a position that it makes it, his anus is in a projectile.
Like he's sunbathing it.
Like he's sunbathing his asshole, which
You know,
I
some
think...
people like to absorb vitamin D that way.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, we've all been in college, but the asshole is already brown. So I don't think you need to suntan the asshole. I've heard of bleaching your asshole.
Tanning, they're absorbing vitamin D.
Okay, well, this guy. So these folks in Santa Monica, they were in an apartment building, right? All of a sudden, they're like, hey, this naked guy is over here and he's terrifying everyone.
Menacing.
Menacing.
I love that.
When I think of menacing, I think of this guy. As a matter of fact.
Seriously, I don't think old men. There should be an age like stopper when you are too old to be menacing. It's just harassment, isn't it?
No, this is when they start.
A 12-year-old is menacing.
This is when it gets good.
This guy's on bath salts, terrorizing.
He definitely needed to take one of those said bath salts after he publicly shat everywhere. So, several people, they were living in this West LA apartment. They spoke to KTLA, which, you know what? I wouldn't.
No?
Knock, knock, who are you? We're journalists with KTLA. You want to talk about the guy who just shat all over your house? No. Get the fuck out of here. You're good. So apparently he was stalking the building butt naked, and then he was also hurling racial epitaphs at his neighbors. Wow. So that's not good. So if he was doing this in a jolly, look at my ding dong, let's go have some fun, please, I'd be like, okay, he's just an explorer, an exhibitionist.
Sure.
Also a felon, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if we lived in a free society. But it was the racial slurs that I think really set people off. So he was walking around all naked, and then he's also known, now this is the thing, he's known for this, for pooping in the building's parking garage and then trashing his apartment, with one woman claiming she's seen him often throw objects out of his window. Wow. So he's kind of crazy. So
Kind of?
He's getting there. Let's see. He's 65% crazy.
What?
But let's see. Maybe he goes up. Oh, another resident said he says the N-word a lot. And then he called this black woman a slave. So now he's at 95% crazy.
Yup.
Also, he was allegedly touching himself in front of a bunch of children at the pool.
And how much percentage does that add?
That's the 5%. Makes him
That's
100%.
the 5%.
That's 100% crazy.
Look at him go.
Yep, look at him go. He's really full on crazy. And apparently the pool was full of children, and it was Memorial Day weekend, which is ironic because don't they not want to remember that?
Yeah, no.
Anyway, one resident summed it up best. The whole building lives in a constant state of anxiety. Can't someone just get rid of him? Like, isn't there a landlord? Like, people
Why
get
is he
evicted.
allowed to stay there?
I don't know. People seem to get evicted for like sneezing too loud. Everyone's homeless, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does he have an apartment?
Landlord's like, easy. He has 5 years back pay. He's like paid it forward.
Yeah, maybe that is the case.
Yeah.
It does go to show you landlords don't care what you do.
Yeah.
You get the rent in on time.
Seriously, they don't give a shit.
They don't fucking care.
It's like,
So apparently, whenever they do call the cops take him away, and then all the residents are terrified because they're worried he's gonna seek out revenge, which
with his poop.
with more poop. Santa Monica police, they said, we've responded to multiple calls, right? And they've evaluated his mental health issues, and I guess they said they've handed over the reports to the city attorney to determine the next steps. By LA standards, he's completely sane. By normal person standards, good grief. But yeah, I just feel like this apartment complex kind of needs to go full on Freddy Krueger and just sort of get rid of him as a community.
Yeah.
And then if he comes back in their dreams and it's just like, now I'm making you eat my shit in your dreams or something,
Yeah.
so be it. But you just kind of got to get rid of him.
Would he like it back? Has anyone tried to retaliate it back at him?
You think that he wants a poop for poop situation?
What if he doesn't? What if he can't handle the poop?
You can't handle the poop.
Well,
Exactly what I. Yeah.
well, now what do you mean? You think he's just looking for love? You
That's
think
not
he's
what I
looking?
meant.
You don't think so? You don't. So he's looking for someone to poop on his poop,
Yeah, he's looking for someone with also a poop fetish.
and then also a racist.
It's a cry for help, obviously.
I think it's a cry that he's a racist.
Yeah, probably that too.
Yeah. So there you go. You never know what's going to happen in these fine states of America. You know, but
It's all possible.
I'm just happy I'm just happy he's not a state senator.
Blow yourself up in both the literal way and the literal way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of, let's do this story. So this woman, she is the most tattooed woman ever, right? And she was exposing her vagina in a G-string bikini. And apparently,
When you mean exposing, does that mean that the G-string was backwards?
I don't know. So she's 36 years old. She spent around $66,000 on an array of all of her inkings and things like
She's
that.
very tattooed.
The obsession began when she was 15, and she's 95% covered, including her vagina. Which, God,
Which,
dang,
ouch.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like what, the bottom of the foot?
Ow.
What do they say? What's the most? You have tattoos. You all have tattoos. Your kids are cool at him.
I mean, it's like the inner thighs and like the inner arm, like this like soft spot here. I can't. That probably it hurts worse.
I can't even imagine getting my vagina. First of all, it would take a long time for me to get one via surgery and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But just having your vagina tattooed, who's it for? So she's a mother of one. And
They stopped.
yes. So that's
Full stop. Tattoos don't ever stop. The kid.
That's good.
One.
And then she was talking about how, I got my pussy all tattooed up, right? She was on this TV show.
Before or after the kid?
Oh my goodness, who knows? God, I hope the kid didn't mess it up.
Yeah, you know, and if she had any tearage going on, they had to restitch back together. Maybe the picture is just a little bit abstract now.
Cal's got a 2-month-old. I think they're still. How's that process going for you?
It's all healed up.
She's
got
doing
some-
a great job.
We just got the
She
okay.
looks fantastic.
Oh God, I was talking about him. I think that's what men have to do to support your gal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tear your asshole.
yeah.
Like, I know how it feels, honey. So, believe it or not, she's an adult content creator.
Okay.
Yes. Again, she started getting tattooed when she was 15 years old. And then she says it wasn't a wise decision. She says, I had a boyfriend's name tattooed across my crotch. Obviously, that doesn't exist anymore. But that is when that's when my obsession really started. So one of the first tattoos she got was above her crotch with her boyfriend's name, which I don't know much. Trust me,
That was a toxic relationship.
it seems like it.
but it sounds like the sex was amazing.
You think so? That's
He
how
got
it works,
his
right?
name tattooed on. Yeah.
Yeah. But then you can't even have sex for a little while because you got the film down there. You got to make sure it doesn't dry out. Well, I suppose the semen.
Well, yeah, I guess
Keep it wet.
probably moisturize it.
Yeah. But then also it gets all crusty and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Yes. So she says she became interested in body modification from a young age, but she doesn't enjoy the inking process. But her whole body is inked up.
Her whole body is inked up.
Yes.
Does that mean she's used numbing cream to do all of her work?
I think emotionally, she uses a lot of numbing devices. Physically, I think she must. I do like the tattoo on her buttocks, which appears to be an octopus.
Yes.
Of course, the smartest of all the sea creatures.
That's just
buttocks.
self-hatred then. If she doesn't like it,
It's masochism,
yeah.
It could be.
She's just completely
which is a big component to why people tattoo themselves in the first place.
Well, I know this fella, Dave Navarro. I was actually on a program with him once, and I have a picture with him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
nice.
But he stopped drinking, and then he started doing all the hook stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you still, and I think that's common, right? They start
Yeah.
doing all the hook stuff, like you're in Hellraiser, and you're like, Pinhead, please. Like, that's the only way that Pinhead would be like, this is not fun. Why are you smiling?
Why are you-
I'm hooking you. I'm tearing your body apart.
Yeah, and then he like hits
like,
him back with
"More."
like pain is pleasure, pleasure is pain. It's all one.
It is. Hellraiser is very sexual.
It's so much so. It's great.
Yeah, it really is. So she says, it's horrible having them done. They're so painful. I'm past it now. I'm so bored of it. I have sat for hundreds of hours, but no one is forcing this woman to do this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
I like
Oh
how she
my
carved out like a
God.
mask.
Yeah, she really did.
and it is. And again, good for her. I don't have any tattoos because you know what? I'm a never nude. I like to wear my clothes, and I'm not confident enough. So I love people that are confident enough in their bodies to get tattoos and say, "Look at me now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of Elvis on me or something.
Yeah.
And isn't that exciting?
But people think it looks good, but no matter what she does is going to look good because she's a good-looking, attractive woman.
Yeah, there's also that.
I suppose so. So she says it really hurts because now she's tattooing over scar tissue. In one particularly horrific area to get tattooed, that was her genitals. She says the first hour is an hour and a half, which was just like the line. Oh my goodness! The first one is an hour and a half, which was just the line work, and then a few weeks later, I had to go get it colored.
Oh,
just
my God.
keep it
Had
pink.
to.
She had to. She says it was horrific. We're talking about a tattoo on her vagina. It was horrific,
ripping.
like ripping, burning. Not nice at all. So she said this tattoo is not nice at all.
It wasn't nice.
Yeah, she said it was all swollen.
Oh my God. And you know what that is?
What?
Not nice.
Not nice at all. Also, the show that she's on, she's sitting there in a bikini, and then there's just a guy that looks like he's ready to go, like, tell HR. He's just wearing khakis, and he's
uncomfortable.
He's got a sweater on. He's very buttoned up.
Yep.
He looks like he just got into the talkies.
That's hilarious. So she hates the tats. She hates it. She's bored of it. But once she's done covering herself up completely, she's probably going to start blacking out all of her ink.
Isn't that what Machine Gun Kelly did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, okay, here's my question. I follow this guy on Instagram. I think I sent you a DM of him.
Yeah.
And he's completely in blackface. He's in like black body.
Yeah.
What is
He
that?
is black body
Is
now.
it what area are we in here? Because you look at your Rachel Dolezal, who I actually think
Kat Von D's doing the same thing. Kat Von D's covered up all of her work with black work.
so, but okay. It just
They're
seems
just redacted.
but it's not redacted.
Yeah.
What are you? Are you a FICE? Or are you what is it? What's the thing you get from the government?
A document.
Yeah.
A FOIA.
Oh, yeah.
You a FOIA request about 9/11?
They just want clean skin again, but that's like the exact opposite way that they could go about it. It's just their only option.
Can't you die from all this stuff?
Probably.
I sound like a prude. I don't want to sound like a prude, but it just seems like that's a lot of ink.
Yeah. It does seem like a lot of ink.
So she says it was just swollen. And then she says something interesting. You have to be careful. I don't think we do.
No.
Because I don't think any of us are going to get our vaginas tattooed.
I don't plan on it
or
anytime soon.
in a male form, my buttocks.
Yeah.
And she said,
Unless it was an octopus.
I've seen that all over the place. There's this pouring gal, big old butt, right? And I'm like, I like the butt.
Yeah.
But then the entire time I'm looking at it, I'm like, I just want to go study octopi. And then you stop doing what you're doing, and then you just look it on YouTube and be like, how the fuck did it get through that small hole? I'm surprised the octopus doesn't go into her asshole. So she says it was a little bit stingy, but it actually healed pretty quickly. I think the skin there is a little bit different, so it healed a little bit quicker, the vagina skin.
Yeah.
So there you
A
go.
little bit different.
Yes, her appearance on the show Wednesday drew some criticism after she posed for a snapshot along fellow guest. Oh, this is interesting. Then UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. So that's who that dude is. That dude's the prime fucking minister.
Hilarious.
It's literally like, what the hell am I doing here today?
You know his staffers are like, we just let's get him out. Let's get him out of the room. Okay, cut. Mr. Sunak appeared in the mid-morning show.
God. And now she's in a robe.
Yes.
He's looking at her like a toddler looks at a disabled person, just staring.
Just absolutely wondering, when's it going to happen to me? Anyway, he was forced to wait in the wings as she was on set. So he had to wait for her. They were like, no, we're not bumping our guest with a tattooed vagina just because you're the fucking prime minister.
Sit in the back.
Sit in the back, please.
Oh my God.
Yes. And then one person suggested This Morning, that's the name of the show, had stitched up Mr. Sinek by putting him on immediately after. So maybe that's a British term for making him look stupid or something.
Yeah, sounds like it's stitched up, huh?
Yeah. But apparently this got political. The Tories were later wiped out in a Labour landslide, resulting in Mr. Sunak losing his role as prime minister. So apparently the Tory spellings went there and they were like, Labour, you get to win this time. So anyway, look at that. Good for her. Isn't it nice?
Good for
Isn't that
her.
nice? All right. I think we got time for one more. What do we got for time, boys?
35 minutes.
Perfect. One more story.
Let's do it.
Lily Allen. Now, is she a singer?
Yes.
Okay, so she's married to this guy, David Harbour.
Yeah.
Yep. Actor.
Yes, he's an
Stranger
actor
Things.
from Stranger Things. And did he play one of my favorite little red demon guys, Hellboy?
Yes,
Yes.
He played Hellboy's
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah.
So, Lily Allen is doing an OnlyFans account, and she's selling photos of her feet. She's 39, he's 49, and I am just a little bit conflicted. I don't give a shit what you do. I love it. OnlyFans, do it up, have all the fun in the world. But my question is she sucking up the airwaves with her feet pics from someone who might actually need that money for their feet pics?
Oh, that's so true.
It's like she's already famous.
I know.
Get
Why
outta
is she
here.
just randomly going on OnlyFans for feet pics?
It's like when all the celebrities sign their, like when Prince Harry and that horrible woman that he's married to, and he's a horrible person too.
yeah.
He just won the Tillman Award, by the way, for ESPN, which it's sports stupid shit.
I don't know.
But I feel like it's like when all those celebrities started getting into podcasts, it's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
It's for the working class.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear you talk.
Yeah, seriously.
How do you know what it's like to be normal?
Yeah.
No more blue collar feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when big podcasts, they start to get money, and then they start to be like, I don't like poor people anymore. It's like, shut the fuck up. Then get out of here. I love poor people, rich people. The only one I don't like so far is that guy who yelled all the racial slurs and took a shit.
And who knows which one he falls under?
He's probably on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So Lily Allen, she announced she's starting an OnlyFans account to sell photos of her feet. She's a singer-songwriter. Now, her husband, he says, oh, that's wonderful. But I really wonder if he thinks it is wonderful.
Yeah.
Allen said, yeah, he thinks it's great. Now, again, if they were dating, I would be like, well, you don't have a say. But they are married.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like, I don't know, I'd be a little bit like, really? We have so much money.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to sell your feet pics.
Right.
That's my only thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna argue that maybe she wants to do it to stay like relevant, to like pop into the news feed, but she already married this guy who's
Right.
very publicly relevant right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's got to be at some level of bored.
Right. And I think this might be a way to turn on their relationship sexually. Because she says at first he was like not turned on, but he was like, is this a kink for you? Which, you know, it's like when you're in a throuple. And no one's ever recruited me. I think a woman recruited me to kill her husband once, but that's about it.
That counts.
They don't want me to have sex with them.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of like weird rules, and they're like, can you like look at him like this? Because I just like I don't want to do this with you. I don't know why I'm here. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm a pawn. And now I feel like we're all pawns in this. So at first, she says he wasn't turned on, but he's like, oh, it's a kink. And I was like, no, it's totally not a kink. But maybe there's something in the power element of it that's slightly kinky for me. So it is a kink.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a kink.
Oh, I'm so confused by Hollywood.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are now saying, okay, well, this is interesting. And this is what one co-host said. They said, I think attention and power will always be a lifelong kink for you.
Ooh,
which I think that was shade.
That's a burn right there.
Shade.
Yup.
Oh my God.
Also, her toe. It looks like her toes would be skinny and bony.
Yeah.
Cheetos.
And this is what Alan said. Well, you know what? It's because in childhood, I was devoid of both.
Feet and OnlyFans.
Well,
Nobody has power in
she
childhood.
says, yeah, she says, and we were just kind of surfing both. So yeah, I guess she wanted to have sex as a child. Or a kink. Maybe she wanted to have a kink as a kid.
She wished that she was allowed.
Yeah, they've only been married since 2020.
Yeah.
So if I'm assuming they'll get divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how long
the
were they
timer is
together
now on.
before that?
Yeah, I don't know. She says she always has a lady come over and do her nails for her. So that's lazy on her part there.
Yeah.
And they informed me, this is what the lady said that does her nails. They informed me that I have 5 stars on WikiFeet.
Yeah.
So she's on WikiFeet. I wonder if I'm on WikiFeet.
Every everybody who's ever been in like a small movie that shows their feet, they're on there.
Is that right?
People like go to on IMDb, link up your page to that. Yeah, that's crazy.
We'll have to look at that on next episode.
You might be on there.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I was on there.
It really might be. I'm not kidding.
I don't think I wear a lot of open-toed shoe action where there are cameras involved.
That's going to be a cliffhanger. Yeah, they informed me that I have 5 stars on WikiFeet, which is quite rare, evidently. So one for each toe. And she says, on one foot. She says, if she only had half the digits,
then I'm signing up for it.
Yes, she says, my feet are rated quite highly on the internet. And then Alan said, she said that I could make a lot of money from selling foot content, everything for content, on OnlyFans. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want to do that. But then she did it.
No.
So now she's on OnlyFans, so you can check out her feet. I'm trying to find a picture of her foot.
But how much foot
You have
content?
to go to OnlyFans for it.
Yeah, Alan said, quote, I've been creating foot content for the past week or so for a select group of foot enthusiasts on a specialist social media site. It's OnlyFans.
Slapping them into some honey mustard? Like, how much can you possibly get done?
And then in a really disgusting thing that I would be kind of upset about if I was her husband, she says, my toe daddies.
Oh.
She calls them toe daddies, which does sound funny.
Yeah, it is. But her husband is her toe father.
Oh, I see.
So take that away from him.
So she says, my toe daddies are very happy with the content I'm supplying.
Cute.
So she has her parents, her toes have parents.
Toadies.
There you go. So that's happening.
How fun.
She does say I've got very strict guidelines, and believe me, these guys are all up in my DMs.
Ooh.
Telling me they want my content and asking me for all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then she says, I take such great pleasure in just saying, only feet. Only feet. So she takes great pleasure because people are like, let me see your rib cage. And she's like, no.
He's like, "Ah,
Only feet.
only feet.
Only feet.
Only feet. So if your manicurist were to tell you your feet are doing so well on this Wiki Feet channel, you could make a ton of money. All you have to do is just take a picture of your feet. Would you do it?
I would.
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
All you have to do is like
it's not
slather
happening.
your toes on with like honey, maybe peanut butter.
Oh, we have to
maybe
feed
have
them?
dog Jerry lick them off.
Oh, don't even bring my I think my dog is human Jerry and you're the dog Jerry.
Whoa, I'm just spitting out ideas here.
Ideas
Okay?
like that.
They already generate a ton of money for people. Come on. Someone's thinking about this.
Oh, that is disgusting. You can't legally have your dog lick anything off your body. I don't think that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not cool.
So anyway, we'll see when they get divorced. But feet, only feet. Like she's James Bond.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's this episode. Yeah. Kyle, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Jerry, great to
Sweet.
see you as always.
Always.
And we'll be back later this week. All right, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Host Ben Kissel.